Mike, check 1 2. It's the Y2K collector, and good morning. So yesterday, I pretty much showed a huge stack of games that I had picked up pretty much between spring and summer of this year, and I asked the audience or the Y2K crew where they thought I fared better, if they thought I fared better at GameStop or everywhere else. And someone made a comment that kind of, made sense, which is basically, you guys, unless you go back and watch all of my videos, probably for the last 6 months, it's going to be hard for you to know how much I spent on a lot of the games. So I decided to break them up between my best online pickups versus my best in-store pickups. And then I also kind of separated the top 35 pickups from GameStop in terms of price, right? In terms of value. And then all of the, basically all of the others pickups from GameStop. And these are probably games that are all, around $50 and under. And so I'm gonna break the pickups up into separate videos where I'm able to kind of go through the prices that I paid for each of the games and kind of let you all know, pretty much the story behind each of the pickups. And then I think that'll kind of give everyone a better idea in terms of values on what I spent and what I paid for a good chunk of the games. And then it'll help you determine, okay, what kind of a deal did I get? Did I get a good deal at all? So I'm going to be breaking these videos up probably into 4 parts. I'm going to try and drop all of them today. And I figured I'd just go ahead and start with this pile because this is probably the pile that, like I said, these are not the cheap games, meaning these games aren't like the $5 to $10 games, but these games do have some value and they were pretty solid pickups. So I'll go ahead and start with this pile just to kind of give you guys an idea of some of the deals that I was able to get between the spring and summer from GameStop. So we'll go ahead and start with this copy of Maximum Carnage. So this one came, I want to say late spring. I was able to pick this one up, and I picked this one up during I want to say the April, I guess, buy two get one promo. So that was probably when they were still doing the buy two get one on all pre-owned, and that was when I really took advantage and picked up a lot of the games that you see here. But Maximum Carnage was a game that I was wanting to add back into my collection for quite some time. I don't remember ever owning the copy with the red cartridge. I feel like I had this on the Sega Genesis, and on the Sega Genesis, it comes in 2 versions, I think. I think you can either get the black cartridge or the red cartridge. Both were pretty expensive. At the time, this game was roughly between $45 and $50 loose for this copy of Maximum Carnage. And I can understand why, because this is a pretty fun beat 'em up game. But I happened to run into this during GameStop's buy two get one, and this was the free game. I had picked up this along with 2 other GameCube games, and the Maximum Carnage wound up being free because they were all in that $45 to $50 range. So, and at the time, to maximize the buy two get one deal, I kept placing separate orders. So I wasn't just buying all the games at one time, because if you do that, it's just going to default to the cheapest game. So I would buy games in groups of 3s to maximize the deal. So this was the free game for me. The next game here is Zelda DX. So this copy of Zelda DX, I believe, ran me $37.99. This was from GameStop. A very cool copy of Zelda for the Game Boy Color. I don't have very many Game Boy Color games, so for me it just kind of made more sense to take advantage while the deals and promos were actually working in my favor. So I went ahead and took advantage. This was, like I said, roughly around $37.99 on this one. A pretty solid pickup. Wasn't too mad about that. Okay, so Alice Madness Returns. So I did pick up a copy of Alice Madness Returns during GameStop's buy two get one. But I honestly knew that I was only really picking it up for a cover art swap, because I had already had a copy of Alice Madness Returns, but my copy had, you know, sometimes these GameStop games, they have like a indent in the cover art, like right around here. So mine had that. It also had like some sticker residue. So I picked up a copy really just for a case swap, and I got at the time I picked this up, this was pretty mint. I don't know if it's been taking some dings or dents from being in boxes, but this copy of Alice Madness Returns was, I want to say $37.99 as well. And picked this up during the buy two get one, but I did wind up returning, doing a return on this one. So this technically wasn't a new pickup, but it was a pickup nonetheless. Okay, here we go. So Ultimate Alliance. So Ultimate Alliance, I picked up, and I don't think I got this on any type of promo, to be honest. I think I just happened to randomly see this at a store one day, and I believe that they had this there. I can't remember if it was $19.99 or $29.99. I want to say that this was $19.99 at GameStop. This, and mind you, all of these games are complete in box. I'm not going to open them all up, but they're all complete in box. They all have the manuals and everything like that. I picked up this copy of Ultimate Alliance because I didn't have like a copy. I didn't have a 360 copy. I had sold my 360 copy at the time. I had the 360 and Forza like combo pack. But this game now, I don't know why, but it was going up in value. And right now I think it's like it's like has a value of 39 or 40 bucks. At least that's what price charting says. So this was still a good pickup nonetheless. Whether it was $19.99 or $29, I think it was $19.99 though. And that was a cool little GameStop pickup. Silent Hill, bought this during the buy two get one. I think this was one of the games that I paid for. GameStop had this for $27.99, I believe. Obviously with the pro member discount, you get 5% off. And I think there were some other discounts going on at that time. So this one wound up being around $24, $25. But yeah, I purchased this one as part of a buy two get one, and I think this is one of the ones that I actually paid for. I do have the original Silent Hill 2 on the PlayStation 2 and Silent Hill 1 on the PlayStation 1. I don't have Silent Hill 3. I don't know if the Silent Hill 3 on this one plays different from the original. Someone can let me know down in the comments. But that was the real reason why I picked this one up. Okay, I'm gonna do these two together. So the Transformers games I found actually at different times earlier in the year. I want to say, I don't even know if it was spring yet. It might have been like late winter, super early spring. I walked into GameStop and they had both Fall of Cybertron and War for Cybertron. At the time, War for Cybertron was $19.99 at the time. And they were doing a 4 under 20 for 40 at the time. So I was able to pick up War for Cybertron for basically $9.50. And then Fall of Cybertron, I think was $27.99. And I may have paid full price on this one. I can't remember. Either that or I got the pro member 5% off. So it wound up being like 26 bucks. But I know War for Cybertron definitely came in at $9.50 because I bundled this up to get it for $9.50 during their 4 under 20 for 40. So that was the story on these two. Two really solid games still. Fall of Cybertron was actually the more expensive title for a long time, but then War for Cybertron has actually surpassed Fall of Cybertron. And I mean, they're both good games. Like I said, a lot of these Activision games, they get delisted and then they just go up in price. I'm not sure if these have been delisted, but they have gone up in price from when I originally saw them. All right, next up, Metal Gear Solid. So I found this game a couple of times. I found it once last year and then I found it again. And I think when I found the copy that I had this year, I wound up selling it. This might be my original copy, but this has pretty much all of the Metal Gear Solid games on one disc, which I thought was pretty cool. So this is still a cool find. This one, GameStop had this one going for like $37.99. So this was a good one to just pick up to complete a buy two get one on some more expensive titles. And that's kind of what I did. Like if there was a game that I already had, but I still needed to buy it to get a game for free, I would just buy it anyway and then just sell it later on, which essentially enabled me, turned the buy two, get one into like a buy one, get one. So that's another way you can kind of take advantage of the system, but that was one of the things that I did. And I know I'm giving away a bunch of secrets. Someone who works at GameStop is probably looking like, yeah, we're never doing this promotion again. But I don't gatekeep, you know. This is how you take advantage of deals, you know. Here was a really good one. So this is Metal Gear Solid 4 limited edition. So obviously it has a Metal Gear Solid 4 game in there, but this also has like a DVD, like a Metal Gear Solid DVD, which is pretty sick. This one, they had this one, surprisingly enough, at GameStop. They had this limited edition one priced as the same price of just a regular Metal Gear Solid 4. So this was actually like $6.99 for this. And I think they were doing the 4 under 10 for 20. So I took advantage because it was priced at $6.99 and the 4 under 10 for 20 was going on. When you factor in my pro member discount, I picked this up for $4.50. So this was $4.50. This was a really solid pickup. I wasn't mad at this one at all. Metal Gear Solid 4 isn't really anything super special, but the limited edition that comes with the DVD, that definitely made the $4.50 that much sweeter. So that was a really good pickup on the PS3. Killer is Dead. I actually had the standard edition of Killer is Dead. There were a lot of copies of this floating around at different GameStops, and this was another one that they were charging the same price as just a standard copy of Killer is Dead, which I think was going for like $19.99. So I don't know if I got anything other than the pro member 5% off on this, but even still, $19.99 I felt like was a good deal for this version of Killer is Dead. It's complete. It has all the extras and inserts in there, so that was a really cool deal. These next three 360 games were all picked up at the same time. I actually walked into GameStop. This wasn't during, was this during? So this wasn't during a buy two, was it during a buy two get one? There was some type of promotion going on that allowed me to get, I want to say about 15, this was the day I picked up like 15 360 games all at the same time, because they had just either gotten in a shipment of 360 games or someone had traded them in. But I don't think it was a trade-in, because all of the games were in like new condition. So it seemed like they all had just come from like a warehouse somewhere. Why they went to that GameStop, I don't know. But Afro Samurai, complete in box, really cool game. Dynasty Warriors Gundam. Well, actually, no, Dynasty Warriors Gundam, I picked this up separately, so not that one. But these two for sure. Afro Samurai and Velvet Assassin, which is a game that I had never heard of. Never heard of Velvet Assassin. Both of these games were picked up on that same day. And oh, that was what it was. I wound up buying like 15, I think maybe even more. I think I bought like 20 360 games. And at the time they were doing a, if you spend $250 or more, you get $25 off. So I got $25 off. That was what it was. So I spent over $250 buying like 20 360 games, a bunch of which I had never heard of, and a lot of them were underpriced. I think that was the same day I bought Wolverine Uncaged. I bought Spider-Man Friend or Foe, Azura's Wrath. There was a lot of games that I picked up that day. And it was coming out to like $260 or something like that. So I got $25 off. On top of that, I also got the pro member discount. So I got an additional $5 off. And then they were doing a special promotion where you got 25% off one game in particular that day. So, but I don't think I used it on either of these two games, because I think that was the same day that I picked up some PS2 games, and I think I used it on a different PS2 game. So, but all in all, when you factor everything out, I wound up getting like 20 to 30% off the whole lot. Like, it was a really good deal that day. Dynasty Warriors Gundam. This was a recent pickup. I recently found this at GameStop not that long ago. I can't remember which GameStop, but Dynasty Warriors Gundam is complete. I know I said I wasn't going to open all these, but I'm a huge fan of like the Dynasty Warriors series, especially when you add in the Gundam factor. So this was $19.99 was what I got this one for. So, oh, and by the way, sorry, I forgot to say the prices. So Velvet Assassin was like $12, and that's like a $45 game. A lot of these were underpriced, so I could tell they had just come from the warehouse. So Velvet Assassin was like $12.99, and Afro Samurai was like $19.99 for both of those, before all the discounts and everything. Dynasty Warriors Gundam was $19.99. The same day I found Dynasty Warriors Gundam, I also found this copy of Raiden V. This, I want to say, was like 25 or 26 bucks. And there were no promotions available when I picked up Dynasty Warriors and Raiden 5. So I just pretty much paid up less the $5% off rather. And then I think I had some coupons and maybe my $5 off per month coupon. So I used that towards it. Both of these together were like roughly around 45 bucks, which I thought was a decent deal. I'm a big shoot 'em up fan, so wanted to add that there. Spyro, Dawn of the Dragon. This one, I got no deals on this one, and this one was pretty pricey. This one was $39.99. But this is a decent game. I think this is like a $50 game or so. I don't know why on the 360. I'm assuming it's the graphics because this has come out on a number of platforms, but this was one I picked up, and I think I just used like my 5% off and my $5 coupon on that one. So wound up coming out to like 27 bucks or no, 39, kind of like closer to 30 bucks on this one. Ultimate Alliance, picked this up actually very recently. So I got the Pro Week 10% off on this one. This was $19.99, so I got $2 off thanks to Pro Week, and an additional 5% off for being a Pro member. And I think that was it on this. So this one wound up coming out to like 17 or 18 bucks, which was pretty decent for Ultimate Alliance 2. I think this is like a $25 game or a $30 game. And this one was cool because it was complete and it still had the code that allows you to play with the Incredible Hulk or unlock the Hulk. I didn't realize the Hulk was an unlockable character. I didn't realize you need to unlock him. I thought he was just in it. But that was cool to find this one in great condition. All right, next up, Dragon Quest. So this was just, I think, a standard pickup. I don't think GameStop was running any promotions. I just had my 5% off, and I had my 5% off, and then I think I had a coupon. I also had some points stored up. This was 25 bucks, I want to say, but this Dragon Quest game, for some reason, is like a $40 game. It's a pretty decent RPG. Picked this one up, added it, decent value on that one. Added that one to the collection. These were some online pickups that I made during the buy two get one. So I think one of these were free, like one or two of these might have been free, and then the other two I just got, the 5% off. But when you factor in the buy two get one, these you could just say 33% off on all of these because one of them was free. First one is Journey to Silius. This was, I think, a $35 or $36 game on GameStop's website. At one point, this was like a $40 game. This is a really cool like run and gun action platformer on the NES with good graphics for an NES game. Really good graphics for it being an NES game. I thought this was pretty good. Picked that one up. Battletoads, no explanation needed here. You guys know about Battletoads. GameStop had this one for $29.99. Bought it during a buy two get one, 33% off. You could do the math there. I thought it was a pretty decent deal on a classic NES game. And then here's one I didn't see often. I don't know if I'd ever even seen this at any GameStops, but when I saw River City Ransom, I wanted to pick this up. I'm a huge beat 'em up fan. I know this one was a free one because I bought this in a bundle during the buy two get one. So this one definitely came in for free. Was glad to have taken advantage of that. All right. Then next up, so now we have we have a couple PlayStation and GameCube games to end us off. So Tales of the Abyss, this was a $26 pickup from GameStop. Tales of the Abyss roughly goes for about 40 bucks. I was just shocked to see a copy of Tales of the Abyss in a store at a GameStop, complete at that, but this was a trade-in, so I wasn't really too shocked. This was definitely an over the summer pickup. Wasn't super shocked, but like, man, whenever you see like PlayStation 2 games of this caliber at GameStop, it's always refreshing, especially when you see it just sitting on the shelf. I don't know, just something cool about it, something nostalgic about it. So pick that one up. These three I picked up on the same day. So this was the same day that I made that huge purchase with all those 360 games. So this was part of like the 20 games that I picked up that day. So roughly around 20 to 25% off on all these games that you see here. They had Champions Return to Arms. They had this for $19.99. This game was in like new condition. I mean, the case was pristine. And all of these, I'm just going to open up one just to show you the condition. But these were all in like new condition. These had to have been sitting in a warehouse somewhere. But Champions Return to Arms, look at the manual. Crispy, 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 crispy new. All of these were like this, just like this, with a little, minus the little finger smudging. And those might even be my fingers. But they had Champions Return to Arms for $19.99. They had Champions of Norath for $19.99. Really good condition. Also $19.99. And then they had Soy Kaden. I think this one was $17.99. This one was a little cheaper, either like 15 or 16 bucks for this one. Soy Kaden 3. I picked this one up as well. Again, complete, really great condition. So those were the sticker prices. You got to take like 20 to 25% off on all of that. So those were some really decent deals there that day. That was a really great GameStop day. Probably my best GameStop day in terms of just what I found and how much stuff I got for what I paid for it. Because like that was the last time I saw so many underpriced games. Like Wolverine Uncaged Edition, the last time I saw that game at GameStop, that game was like $80. When I found that game that day, it was like $35. So like, and everybody knows ever since the Deadpool Wolverine movie, that game has just shot up, and even GameStop knows that. So it's crazy. I found so many games underpriced, and you'll see more when I do the other installments of this series. But so far, I mean, hopefully that gives you a good idea. I would say across the board with all of these GameStop games, I probably paid anywhere between 30 and 35% off on average when you factor in how many of these games I got for free, coupons, discounts, roughly 30% off market price for all of these games. Last two I'll go through is these two were online pickups, buy two, get one. I think this one was the free one, Ocarina of Time, and Master Quest bundle, but I think this one is missing the manual. So this was a bummer. This one, yeah, this one was missing the manual. Case wasn't in the best shape, but it was the free one, so I wasn't too mad. I thought about returning it, but I was like, you know what? Finding this even boxed is going to be difficult, so I kept this one in the collection. That one I think was $39.99, and then they had Pikmin as well, which I think was $44.99. But I bought Pikmin, this game, and another Zelda game so that this one I think was free, because they were all roughly like around between like 40 and 45 bucks. Once I saw that this wasn't complete, I got a little nervous about this Pikmin, because I purchased a copy of Pikmin from a thrift store for like $6.99 like 2-3 years ago, but it wasn't complete. So I wanted to get it back. And thankfully, when I got it in the mail, GameStop actually sent me a fully complete in-box GameCube game. And the manual on this wasn't like thrashed. The dog hadn't chewed it up. So I was actually pleasantly surprised when I got this. This was a spring pickup. And this is when the buy two, get one was great, man. I mean, even their online stuff was really, really good. So, I mean, that does it for the medium value games. Like I said, all these games would range probably somewhere between like 25 and 40, maybe even 45 bucks in some cases. But just all very solid pickups, 30 to 35% off all of these. Just really good stuff. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about those deals. If you know, would you be able to find better? Do you think I would have done better at a mom and pop shop? Do you think I would have done better on eBay? Let me know your thoughts. I'll be back a little bit later on today to kind of go through the other parts to this series. I'll go through, like I said, I will go through my mom and pop pickups, the top mom and pop pickups. Then I'll go through and what I paid for those. Then I'll go through my top online pickups and what I paid for those. And then my big finale will be the top 35 most expensive GameStop pickups so far in 2024. And somebody said you need to do the intro for videos that are longer than 10 minutes. So I'll make that one a more edited video. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. It's the Y2K Collector. Take it easy.